Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. Been doing this for 20 years. Really glad to have this format. I wanted to mention this too. You can find us on television. We are syndicated on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. You can also find us on the radio, WZLA. They're the voice of South Carolina, and they're on 92.9. Make sure you check them out. The show airs on Saturdays there at 9 a.m., and that's on the Central Time Zone. Eastern Time Zone. But again, thank you so much for watching. Continue sending email. It just makes my day when you do that. You're not bothering me at all. Any suggestions? You would like me to ask questions to some of our guests? I'll be glad to take that in. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. Got a very special guest with me right now. She's a mutual friend with Rob Patz, and Rob's a really neat guy. Hey, Rob, if you're listening, it's always good to talk to you. But I have with me a very special guest, and her name is Rhoda Diehl. And Rhoda, thank you so much for being on the show. I've been really looking forward to this guest spot.
I have been too. So thank you for having me on. I'm super excited. And I want to also thank Rob for this wonderful connection too, because, it's so awesome to have people, on the same page and just wanting to help each other out and getting the word of God out there as much as possible.
Tell us what you do.
So I'm an evangelist and author of the Jericho Fast, and I evangelize. And it's new, it's a baby yet. Having a podcast called The Breakthrough Table, and so I evangelize, and I just love to get the word out there and talk about Jesus, and so that's what I do.
Well, I'm glad to have you on the show. I wanted to talk to you a little bit because since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and even before then, I've got to say, I've noticed young people seem to be coming around. I think they're looking for a different way. There's a lot of questions that are being asked by the young folks. And this is really, I'm seeing it all around the country. But what's happening in your neck of the woods? Are you seeing some kind of an awakening with young folks?
I am. And even in my very own household, I have teenagers and they just got this zeal. They're on fire and they want to get out there and spread the gospel as well. And I just feel like there's a shift, and more people. My friend, she said that 80 people from her church in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, got baptized last Sunday, and the majority of them were youth. So you see and you hear about all this happening since the death of Charlie Kirk. It just brings you so much joy, but yet it's sobering. And I've been seeing such and hearing such wonderful good news about people, and especially in this generation, rising up.
I'm glad to see that too. So there's been and I blame the news media for this. They're like bad news is, that sells. Good news just doesn't sell. But I think the young folks are getting tired of that. They're looking for a much better way and a more positive attitude. Are you finding that as well?
I am. I'm seeing a definite positive attitude. And like you said, the news, what we hear today, a lot of it is negativity and false news. And it's so hard to have hope in the middle of negativity and all this negative stuff. But I see something else happening in the midst of all this negative, and you hear all the wrongs. God is just turning it around for the good. And I do feel a turning point. I feel it and I see it, that it's happening in our country.
Mm-hmm. I do too. And I think what was meant for our harm actually turned out for the good in most ways. And that was when COVID happened. So a lot of these kids that are young adults now actually grew up during that COVID area. And think about this. Okay, so these kids who graduated from high school didn't get to walk across the stage for the most part. There's so many things they were robbed of because of what happened, the country being shut down and what have you. And they're just ready. I mean, they're tired of the same old, and they're just ready for something else. What do you think they're searching for?
I believe that I think the main thing that they're searching for is hope. I really do. I believe that they're searching for hope, and they want to see things come. I don't know. I just feel like they're searching for hope and truth. And I believe that they're looking for something that is going to bring peace and unity. And I believe that's what they're looking for. And the only way that they can find it is through Christ. And finding Jesus, because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, finding him in the midst of a chaotic world that we live in is what we all need. And that is the answer.
Mhm. What do you think social media has to do with this?
I believe that social media is for the good. I believe that the social media it can be bad in one way, but yet it can be good in another way. And I believe through this crisis, through um, the death of Charlie Kirk, I believe social media has set a platform for the younger generation to express their truths, to make a stand, and also bring out a boldness in them like never before.
Mhm. If you had to have a target audience in what you do, who would that be?
I would definitely love to get out there and speak to the younger girls and generation now, and especially women as well, because I believe that this is a season and a time that women are on the rise. I believe that the Lord is raising up not only just Esther's, but Deborah's. And I feel that the enemy would like to silence the voice of women, and especially younger women in this generation as well. And I believe this is no time. And I do know that when women speak, it makes hell nervous. And that's what gets the enemy upset. And that's why he would like to silence young and old women's voices, because he knows what we have inside of us. And it's very powerful. And I know one thing, I would love to get that out there and to encourage young women to don't back down, don't settle, and keep your eyes on Jesus.
Absolutely. There's been a huge rise, and it's just in the past few decades, to break up the family. And there were things I noticed when my son, he was in high school in the 1990s. He
Mhm.
comes to school one day, and so he wanted to watch this particular sitcom called Married with Children.
Oh,
And
really?
so I was a nosy mother, so
Mhm.
I would watch shows before I let him see it. And there was something I didn't like about that show. I don't know if you've heard of it. It was back in the 1990s, and the dad was just a knucklehead. He was just stupid. And then the mother
Mhm.
was just, she was just out there somewhere, and the kids rule the roost. And that's not God's plan. The plan
No.
is for the man to be the head, and then the woman, and then the kids. And the kids are supposed to honor the parents, but now the parents have to be honorable and in order to be honored. And so my son says, well, everybody else watches it. And I said, I'm not going to let you watch it, son, because when you
Mhm.
grow up, you'll be the man of the house. And that's not what it's doing to young people right now. So anyway, now he's glad I did it. But anyway, TV has a huge influence. Movies, television, sitcoms, whatever they consider the possibility. Now I like to watch a good movie. I mean, of course, I watch television, but we're careful what we watch, because your eyes can bring in more bad things into your life if you're not really careful. So we like the family type stuff. So what are your thoughts on that? Is it okay to be a nosy parent?
Yes. So I am a mom of five, and I have teenage boys that's living under my roof right now, and I have two adult children. And I'm so thankful that I surveillanced what they would watch and even listen to, and I still do it now. I think that it is a necessity, because our eyes are the gateway, and the enemy knows how to come in to children's minds and lying to them and deceiving them by the things they watch and what they hear. And so our minds become a sponge. And so we adapt to the things that aren't good for us. Just like our body, we crave sugar and things that aren't healthy. And what it does, it produces a lot of inflammation. It can produce a lot of bad. And so that's how it can be within our minds. And our as children, this is the most critical and crucial time that they are, let's just say that they're just eating it up, and so I like to make sure that I know what my kids are watching and listening to. And especially if we think like watching Disney or over on Netflix, things are, innocent. Nothing is innocent anymore, and my kids all go to Christian school. And so my husband and I, we had like we were arguing a lot because he was like, I can't keep up this Christian school because of the, how much it is and blah, blah, blah. I think we should just put them in the public school. And I was like, absolutely not. I will not let my children sit underneath complete strangers who have opposite beliefs than what I have here in my house. And they program our children in beliefs that aren't the truth. And so I rather give my last pennies that my children will be underneath a good education and being taught that the things that are true and just in a Christian school. So while they're in school and they come home, I don't want it to be opposite either. I want it all to be the same. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And so everything that a child watches, even on their phones and iPads, whatever, it brings no good. And I believe that there even should be a time that our kids put that down and get outside and be children again. Play, ball, ride your bike, do some outside activities, because parents just want to hand their kids a phone. There's some apps on there. They can play games. They can watch movies from their phones or iPads, whatever it may be. And guess what? They're being preoccupied by the enemy, by things that aren't. Let's just say, how could I word it in a nice way? They're being taught and they're digesting pure evil that can be a seed and one day sprout, and thinking that it's okay to be a different gender. If I'm wording it right, I want to watch what I say here, but you know what I mean. It's okay, and it's not. It's not. God created us to be male and female, to have children, to be married. That's what God intended for us. And I believe that it's so vital and important for parents to be monitoring their children and what they're watching and listening to, especially in today's society.
Absolutely. Girl, can you believe half the show's already over? We're going to have to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang in there. We'll be right back. Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of the Cobb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. You can find us on television, Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Don't forget the radio show. That's on Saturdays at 9 a.m. It's a good way to get that weekend started. So we're always glad to be there as well. WZLA, they're 92.9 on the FM dial, a big powerhouse right here in South Carolina. Again, thank you so much for being with us. Rhoda is with us right now. And we're talking about, the kids. I'm seeing a huge difference. And I'll have to say this, my husband's sister's kids were all homeschooled. And this was back in the 1990s. Well, the big thing that people would say about homeschool kids is, oh, they're going to be so antisocial. They're not going to know how to get along with other people. If they decide to go to college, they're going to have a hard time. These kids are anything but that. They actually graduated at the top of their classes, all in college. They all have great careers, and I don't see a shy bone in their bodies. They're all very successful people, but they were taught the right way. They didn't hear the garbage that's being thrown out there to kids these days. And so I'm just telling you, you can put me in a room of 1,000 kids. I'll point out the homeschooled ones and the ones who go to Christian school. It's just, I mean, you could just tell they exhibit a confidence, and it's a sweet confidence that you don't see from kids who are bogged down from hearing the unnecessary garbage at school.
Yes, and so my two oldest, they were homeschooled, and they're perfectly fine, and they're far from being shy and reserved. And I just think that people have a different perspective, especially the ones that aren't Christians. They think that it's a bad thing to be a homeschool child or homeschool your children. You're taken from them. But I believe what we're doing, we're instilling in them the morals that they need to know and the truths. And I believe that when you come from a home that is filled with love and peace and joy, and especially parents that are interested in what their children are learning about, you can't go wrong with that.
No, you're absolutely correct on that. I mean, and it's the best way to grow the kids. I'm just telling you, that's what it is. And I've got a news for all the parents out there. Kids actually love structure. They act as if they don't.
They do.
They really do like structure. So I think that's just a good thing to do. Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about social media and what it pertains to. So a lot of kids are being kidnapped, and this is what hurts my heart. Is when a kid has been abducted and sexually attacked. And that has been an epidemic now for the past few years. And my heart goes out to those kids.
Mine too. So a friend and I, we been fasting. We were doing it for I think it went on for 3 Mondays in a row. Every Monday we took and we started fasting for the children that have been kidnapped and trafficked. And God just placed that burden upon my heart because, I just feel that there's a lot of people overlook this, and it's not a matter to be taken lightly. And so I pray constantly, and that's one thing that burdens me all the time is through even we think Roblox and Minecraft is innocent. No, there's predators on there seeking and looking for our children. They're looking for the ones that are vulnerable. And I just have such a burden, and it just I don't know. I just get so upset to hear and think about what is happening and how it's rising. It's on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do love to, and if there's anybody that would love to join me, every Monday we are starting a fast for children that have been abducted and trafficked out and kidnapped. If you feel the burden on your heart, join the fast in this movement, because I believe God is going to be doing great things.
I do too. Now, there's a lot of organized crime with that, but I was talking with a lady who's with Family Services, and it's in this county. And so we were talking about that. And I said, well, that just happens in New York, Chicago, the big cities like that. And she said, no, it happens all over the place. It happens in your small towns. And I said, well, I don't hear about it here. And she said, well, it's kept quiet. It's hush hush. And she said, what happens is some of the parents will get on drugs, and they'll do anything to get a fix. And that even means selling their kids to sex. And so that boggled my mind. I said, so that happens here? And she said, yeah, it's much more common than you know. And then I feel for the kids who come here and maybe their parents brought them here from another country, and the poor kids can't even speak English. And they are vulnerable. To these thugs who come in and want to take over their lives, and it's a terrible thing. And that something needs to happen there. That needs to stop.
It does. And I believe that prayer is one of the main things that these children need right now, because just like you said, there's children out there that got parents that are on drugs, and they'll just do anything for a good fix, and they are silenced. They don't have a voice. But I believe people that do have a voice, like us, we can be crying out, we can be fighting for them on their behalfs. And that's why I believe God places it on our hearts, like you and I and many out there, to pray and stand up for these vulnerable little children that don't know any better. And it's so sad and sickening on top of it, and what these evil monsters do to them. And the thing is, we as women of God and men of God, we need to come together more and pray for these children, because I believe prayer works. And just like Paul and Silas, they were in prison, and if it wasn't for the prayers for them, hey, they got released. And I believe God can bring angels in there and people that can just bring them freedom and deliverance.
Absolutely. Rhoda, I can't believe it. We're at the end of the show. There's less than 2 minutes left in this segment. You got 2 minutes. What would you like to tell the folks before you go?
I would just like to say that prayer and fasting is vital, especially in these days and times, and keep alert, and don't allow the enemy to sidetrack you and thinking that everything is okay, because it's not. You got to make sure your kids and your family are just grounded into the truth, and the truth is the word of God. So I just want to say this to each and every parent out there, never stop praying for your children. And also for people out there that take that burden like I do, and Donna, to pray for those children that don't have a voice, and just trust the Lord with all your heart and all your might.
Absolutely. How can folks get in contact with you?
You can go over to my social media accounts, Facebook and Instagram, and also my website. Everything is my name, Rhoda Faye Diehl. And also, if you want to purchase my book, The Jericho Fast, that's over on Amazon as well. So you just type in my name, Rhoda Faye Diehl. D as in dog, IEHL.
Thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a pleasure and an honor. Thank you for being with me. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having me.
Well, you're welcome. And thank you guys so much for being with us today. It's always great to see you. Send emails. I love them. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. And make sure you get in contact with Rhoda too. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being with us. Rhoda, hang around so I can get you set up for next month.
Because of your overwhelming support, our $14.88 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing, including my classic standard MyPillows, only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.